Hi, I'm Ashley Hawkins, and I am the manga librarian. And today we are talking about digital manga, specifically purchasing digital manga via Overdrive. So, yeah, I'm sorry that it has been a little while since my most recent video. Things have been kind of crazy. At the start of the school year, I think a lot of you can commiserate. So, yeah, it's the start of the school year. It's been a little nuts, but now I am here. I know a lot of you are doing purchasing. A lot of you might be adding to your digital collections because we've all kind of recognized the value of digital collections. So yeah, this video is specifically about purchasing through Overdrive for Sora and Libby. So this is probably most useful for people who are either considering using the platform or people who are currently using the platform to purchase books for their libraries. If this isn't you, maybe this might not be the most useful video, but maybe something about it might be useful. I don't know. My next videos coming up are actually going to be publisher deep dives, where I am going to be breaking down each of the publishers and their histories, what they kind of specialize in, what you should know about them, how to follow them, things to know about them, because I think that knowing about manga publishers really helps in terms of purchasing and acquiring and knowing what's up and coming. So we're going to go ahead and kind of jump into this. If you don't know what Overdrive is, it is exactly what I said. My school uses Sora because all of New York City uses Sora. If you are in New York City and you are not currently using Sora, I don't know what you're doing. There's been so many resources and things poured into Sora. You absolutely should be using Sora. It's a wonderful, amazing resource. There's so many books on there beyond manga and beyond light novels, beyond what I'm going to talk about today. But today I am talking about specifically purchasing manga because there are some quirks and there are some things I want to point out and some things that I want to make sure you know. I want to point out how to find particular books. So I will say I'm going to show you the back end of my Sora library or my Overdrive. So you may actually see some of my circ records, which is what it is. I'm very open to that. So yeah, we'll just kind of go in and go from there. All right, let's go ahead and here we go. Here we go. We're on Overdrive. Welcome. If you regularly purchase on Overdrive, this is a very familiar site to you. So here's what I think. So people have been coming to me fairly recently or have asked me questions or said comments along the lines of, yeah, I try to buy manga on Overdrive, but I can't find anything, or it's all the same stuff, or it just doesn't make sense. And I think there's a reason. I think the reason is this. The reason is the natural inclination, and you know, even as librarians, we have this natural inclination, is to just do this. Go to the top, type in manga, and wait for Overdrive to bring forward all that information. And I think as librarians, we kind of know what the inherent issue is here. But our natural search inclination as humans is to just do that, right? And when you do that, what automatically is going to happen is you are going to get this. And at the top, you think, okay, we're good. I'm good. I have found the place. There are almost 10,000 results. And it's, since we're by most popular, we are going to see the Shonen Jump Viz titles. But then I've got a title that isn't manga. Scroll down a little. A title that isn't manga. Scrolling down. Scrolling down. A title that isn't manga. Scrolling down. A title that isn't manga. A title that isn't manga. And as you go down, there will even be novels. There will be things that are not really what you're looking for. Not to say that the things that you've pulled in this search are bad or are not maybe influenced by manga or influenced by anime, but they're not necessarily what you're looking for. And I think that's part of where the frustration lies. I think that it makes you feel as though all you have available to purchase are all of these Viz titles. It makes you feel like everything is, because Viz goes for the metered access, it makes you feel that everything's metered access. And I know that not everybody wants to buy metered access. I personally try to avoid it unless it's a title that I feel like I absolutely need. And these are all like things that we really have to keep in mind, right? We have to keep in mind our budgets. We have to keep in mind like how much use are we going to get out of this digital copy. Purchasing digitally has its own quirks. And when you're first getting started, there are all sorts of weird bumps and snafus you might run across. There's just a lot, right? So I totally understand the confusion and the frustration. So what do I do? Well, I don't search this way. I search by publisher. And the reason I search by publisher is to eliminate all that superfluous stuff. I am eliminating getting novels, graphic novels that are inspired by manga, things like that. If I'm looking for those things, I typically have a title in mind and I know what I'm looking for, right? If I am looking for Wendy Shu's upcoming book, Tide Song, I am going to look for it by title. But if I am just generally trying to see what's available in manga, what's available for pre-order, and things like that, I am going to come here. Now, like I said, I tend to search by publisher. If I try searching by subject, for whatever reason, I can't get that granular. It is what it is, right? I will go to publisher account, and there are 3 accounts that I prioritize. I prioritize Viz. I prioritize Kodansha. And I prioritize 7Cs. Now, there is somebody who is a major player that should be here, and I should be able to search for them, and I should be able to purchase them, but they're not here. And that is Yen Press, and I get on them fairly regularly on Twitter, and I'd like for you all to start bugging them too and start annoying them about how they really need to be on Overdrive, because they should be. So I can't buy Fruits Basket. I can't buy Solo Leveling. I can't buy any of their light novels. There is a light novel publisher who is on Overdrive, and I'm going to talk about them after I've kind of covered this. And I highly recommend looking at their titles and purchasing some of their titles and putting them into your collection. But at the end of the day, Yen Press has a bit more purchasing power, and they have been purchasing more and more Korean titles lately. And they also are putting out Chinese titles. So they have a pretty diverse catalog that is forthcoming that I would really like to have available, and I can't have it available digitally. And there's a supply chain issue, and I can't get certain things, and it's super frustrating. So they do have their audiobooks available on Overdrive, and I strongly recommend looking into those. So they are audiobooks of their light novels. They're very well done. I'm very excited that there are finally audiobooks being made available of light novels. That is a huge step forward in accessibility to the medium. But their manga is not available digitally. It's a little frustrating. I have nothing else to say. I feel like they're walking away from money. So yeah, bother them. Join me. And so these are the three publishers, though, that you can search for that are going to return quite a bit. Now, there are others. Dark Horse is another publisher who is pretty active. You also can find Fantagraphics. There's a few others who are on here. But we're just going to stick with these three because they're probably the most prolific. And honestly, if you're looking for any of the titles from the others, you're probably looking for it by title. So you hit the search button, same as always, and you wait. And here we go. Now you're going to see the same most popular titles up at the top. So let's talk a little bit about some quirks, some things. So Viz has some positives and some negatives. Positives, they're the best at metadata, right? As you can see from this listing for My Hero Academia, they have the appropriate audience, young adult fiction. They have the text difficulty. They have the interest level. They have a lot of things. For whatever reason, they don't have it on Naruto. But I don't, yeah. It's a little hit or miss, but they always have the right audience, which I really appreciate. Thank you, Viz. Thank you. Now, the thing is with the audience issue, in conversations, it's kind of like that meme of the two Spider-Men pointing at each other. Overdrive says it's a publisher issue. The publisher says it's an Overdrive issue. I don't know who to believe, but the indication with Viz being able to do it is that more than likely it's got something to do with however it is that you have to upload the digital files to Overdrive. Something about the system makes it where if you don't know metadata, then maybe you're struggling. And so thank goodness Viz knows how to do this, but Kodansha doesn't know how to do it. And I think part of that is Kodansha is a Japanese-owned company, but I don't know how much of an excuse that is, because they should have, they have an American publishing house. I think what it may be is they don't have anybody who is fluent in metadata doing the uploading. Or something. That is my suspicion. I don't know. I haven't actually talked to anybody at Kodansha to know what it is that they might be struggling with that makes it where they mark Cheese Sweet Home as adult. And then you as the librarian have to go in and fix that and make sure that your kindergartners can access Cheese Sweet Home. So that's just something to know about. It is fixable on the admin side. All you have to do is go to admin content access levels, and you can change the content access levels of your texts. I spent a good bulk of time in the spring fixing the content access levels for not just my collection, but for the New York City Department of Education collection. Just because I had the time to be able to do it. So I had some spare time. I volunteered to help, and I fixed the access levels so that children could access their books. Now, I personally try to avoid metered access unless it's absolutely necessary. So I tend to go for only one copy, one user, because I'm trying to stretch my money as much as possible, because I don't get very much money. So Viz does metered access, and quite honestly, they do it because they know they can. They know they're worth it. They know they are providing what our students want the most. They're doing it. But Kodansha and 7Cs, bless them, do one copy, one user. So when you hit one copy, one user, all of the Viz stuff is going to disappear, and about 5,000 titles are going to disappear when this search filter hits. Yeah. One thing I will point out is right now, at time of recording, there is a sale going on where there's 50% off a lot of Kodansha titles, most of them volume 1s. I don't know how long the sale is. It's probably till the end of October. That feels about right. But yeah, it's the first few volumes of some of their most popular series, including things like Attack on Titan. The thing is, like, they have their audience level wrong. Well, actually, it's right here for Attack on Titan. That is probably an adult title. But they have the text difficulty as grade 2, interest level is upper grade. So they understand it to a certain degree. It's just the audience level isn't quite right. Because I would put Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon as an audience level of young adult. Same with Orange. Same with Bloom Into You. Same with I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Same with Girl from the Other Side. Cheese. Oh! They fixed Cheese Sweet Home. They heard my complaints. Cheese Sweet Home used to be marked as adult. Oh, they heard me complaining. Congratulations, Kodansha, you did it. Which Atelier I would mark as young adult. Kodansha, hire me. I'll come fix it. Pay me. I'll sit with your content delivery system, and I will fix your I will fix it. But yeah, you're going to see a lot of Kodansha titles. And then Seven Seas only has about 250 titles currently on here. Seven Seas doesn't have quite the reach. Kodansha can pull directly from their library of titles in Japan, because they can just pull it straight over. And that allows them to be quite prolific in publication. Viz has their relationship with Shueisha. And so that's why Viz and Kodansha tend to have such a huge output. But do not discount Seven Seas. They have really great, wonderful titles. So like Ancient Magus Bride is Seven Seas. Let's see. I know I saw another one that was Seven Seas. Girl from the Other Side is Seven Seas. A lot of really thoughtful, very well done manga is Seven Seas. So I would not discount them. Also, one of my personal favorites, Himoto Umaro-chan. Just, there's some really great publishers here. Or publications here. So you can see going one copy, one user. I will say, being since you are cutting out all the Shonen Jump type stuff, I think it will kind of challenge you to bring in more diverse sort of titles, more titles that are female driven. Something that is particular to Kodansha is they have digital only titles, and that is very important to keep in mind. Those digital only titles are primarily shoujo and josei, which are highly valuable to female readers. So those Not So Sweet Boys, that is a digital only title, and it's a really great one. It's a shoujo title about a young girl who is tasked with bringing a group of delinquent boys who also happen to come from wealthy families back to school. And it actually kind of deals with like some socio-emotional things that are going on with these boys and why they've chosen to not go to school. I really recommend, you know, looking at these titles that are maybe not as widely recommended. I mean, you know me, I've talked about Magus of the Library so many times and how much I love it. Like I said, sticking to one copy, one user is not gonna hurt. And and that is not the only thing I want to point out. The other thing I want to point out is that you can also find light novels. And right now things are kind of quirky in terms of finding light novels. So go back to advanced search. There is one major light novel publisher on Overdrive, and I was hoping that their issue would be resolved by now, but they are having an issue with their publisher account not having the proper name on it. It currently has the president of the publishing company's name on it instead of the actual the publisher. So it is J Novel, and J Novel is known for publishing Japanese novels, light novels. And right now, in order to find them, you need to go to the publisher account, Samuel Panansky. Okay. Hopefully this will get fixed eventually. I'll put an update when it does. But it's just very valuable that you know how to find them, because we have here 576 results. And these are light novels. And light novels are just wonderful ways to bridge. Okay. I was about to say something that's like my usual selling light novels thing. Quite honestly, I just love light novels. Light novels are really easy reads. In Japan, they are YA fiction. They are highly consumable. They include manga style art, and they are just absolutely addictive. They're usually highly humorous, highly action-packed, just a joy to read. So this particular light novel that's right here at the top, that's the most popular, is one of my personal favorites. It's My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom. The anime is one of my favorites. The manga is one of my favorites. I am a huge fan of this series. It is just so wonderfully well done. And you can get the one copy, one user for $9.99. It is marked as comics and graphic novels, manga, humorous, but it is a novel. And that's something to like keep in mind, that these are novels. There's only a few pages of art in these, but they're all really wonderful. I am working on getting students to read them more online, because they do prefer to, I think what happens is on my Sora page, they get buried by all the other manga and all the other manga. Because in my physical library, I cannot keep light novels on the shelf. So I'm currently doing work to, first off, get everybody's Sora account working this year, because we're having the students are kind of struggling, but that's its own thing. And I'm working on getting students to start checking these things out. I've made its own list, and I'm going to share it in their Google Classrooms next week. So that's going to be my big push next, because I have quite a few of them. I will say they do sell some manga, so it just is a matter of paying attention, because they have manga versions of things that they have light novels of, such as The Engagement of Mariel Clark and Bibliophile Princess, which are two of my favorite series. Any series that's about a book-loving girl, I really love, and apparently J-Novel does too, because they sell a lot of them. But these, yeah, a lot of these titles, like I said, I know do really well in the real world. So I just need to do the bridging and do the work. And I think once I start building that up, they will start to do better. Ascendance of a Bookworm is absolutely wonderful, by the way. But yeah, there's a lot of these, and you should definitely check them out. If you need recommendations, you can always reach out to me. I can also make a list of my recommendations for light novels. In fact, that is something I am definitely going to do. I'll make a recommendation list on Anime Planet and put it in the box for this of my recommendations of J-novel light novels, because you can't buy the Yen Press ones. Actually, that would be Yen On is their light novel imprint. So yeah, so this is a recommendation of mine. I will say, I mentioned that, let's see if, I mentioned before the Yen audio. So far, there's only 3 of them. I haven't purchased them yet. I haven't built my purchase list here yet. But, and actually, I'm even going to do this right now. They've done Solo Leveling, they've done Overlord, and they've done Sword Art Online. There are more forthcoming. And they've been really well done thus far. And it's good to see that we're getting something. And in terms of audio accessibility for these type of things. Solo Leveling right now is booming at my school, so keep an eye on it. So that is really it in terms of what I have to say about Overdrive. I talked more than I thought I would. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. Like I said, I'll make a list of my recommendations for light novels, and I will see you in the next video, which will be about Viz. So we'll talk about Viz next time. Okay, bye.